Chocolate Garcia, how are you? Tara, how are you doing? Ash 19, how are you? So I want to jump on here again today and do another Q&A. See how you guys are doing on the watermelon fast. Ben Tom Boji, what's up? Vinny Todd's, what's up, man? Cassandra, hello. Let some people trickle in here. Have you ever tried Irish sea moss? Yeah, I have, Ash. I use it not all the time, but I use it pretty frequently. It has like 108 minerals, I think. So I mean, it's a pretty good herb. I'm doing great. I'm doing well, Tara. You still on your juice fast? In your juice? No, I don't put it in my juice, Ash. I just take it by itself, like a capsule form, or I take capsule form right now. You can do that, or you can do a gel. It depends on just what you have. But so I wanted to talk about detox symptoms before we get started. Awesome, Tara. I'm proud of you. Has anybody gone through detox symptoms yet since starting the watermelon fast? Day 46. You're crushing it. I'm really proud of you, Tara. So when you guys have detox symptoms, you got to be very aware, and you got to have a little bit of education in terms of what the body's going through and how to handle the situation when it pops up. A couple of people that are on the watermelon fast, and myself included, I had a pretty nasty detox healing crisis last Thursday, and I ended up just taking the day. I just took the day off. I took it pretty easy. I rested myself. I didn't go too crazy, but I know that when those detox symptoms pop up, that's what I need to do. I need to relax. I need to rest myself, and not try to push myself to go further in the fast itself. So you got to just be very aware and just be very cognizant. When the detox symptoms pop up, and kind of how to navigate them and how to manage them, because you can always stop a detox simply by just eating. If you eat some like a salad or some steamed vegetables or some fruit, it will slow down the detox process, and you'll start to feel better, almost immediately. So that's really my one piece of advice I want to give to you guys, because I see a lot of people right now, like I said, myself included, that are going through detox symptoms, because this watermelon is actually pretty aggressive. I didn't realize how strong watermelon was until this fast. I've never done a mono juice fast before. I've never done watermelons, just only strictly watermelons for a certain amount of time, and I'm realizing myself just how strong the watermelon juice really is. I thought my nickname for it is the Red Raider, because it's definitely gonna go in there. It's gonna clean you out. So with that, just be cognizant, and I think Dr. Morris talks a lot about detox symptoms. John Rose talks about it. So just understanding how to manage those detox symptoms will really help you, in the long run. And when they pop up too, because I think you don't want to freak out. You don't want to get stressed out when those detox symptoms appear, because when you get stressed out, you're only adding more hormones into the body, and that's only putting more stress on the liver, because now the liver's got to process all that extra cortisol. So it's really about staying calm, staying in the moment, staying present, and just allowing yourself the space to rest and the space to just heal, because that's really all your body. Your body's just healing. Habibi, what's up? Sue, how are you? Do you guys have any questions? Jennifer, how are you doing? Let's see. Isn't Dr. Morris more eating fruit, not juicing? Yeah. Vinny Todd, he's more eating the fruit. He's done juice fast, and I think he went like 6 months on orange juice, like a couple months on lemon. Um, so I think the thing that a lot of people get caught up with is that we have all these different mentors like Arnold Ehret, Herbert Shelton, Dr. Morris, Dr. Seavey, but you kind of got to find what's right for you. You know what I mean? And so, I enjoy juice fasting personally. That's why I've kind of modified what I hear from these guys, and I strictly do more the juice, the juicing versus eating it, just because I don't want to deal with the digestion of those fruit. So, yeah, Dr. Morris more eats it, but at the same time, I'm kind of being a trailblazer and seeing what juicing does as well. Yes, lemons only. What? Just drinking lemon juice only. That's pretty aggressive. That's extremely aggressive. And what's up, brother? Who's still doing Who's still on the watermelon fast? Slower detox, I guess. If you eat it, yeah, if you eat the fruit, it's gonna be a lot slower of a detox. But there's like a triangle that I always post. Water fast and mono juice fasting are gonna be at the tip top of that triangle. So that's gonna be the most aggressive. Your detox symptoms are gonna be more accelerated at that particular when you're doing those two entities, and then as you work down the ladder, you go to more fruit juices, green juices. You start eating the actual fruit. You start eating greens and salads, and then if you eat, just the standard American diet, your detox symptoms are going to be much lower. So it's just a matter of your personal journey and how fast you want to go. Because some people I don't think are really are really built to handle how aggressive sometimes the detox symptoms can be. Like myself, I like to jump in. I like to, I like that feeling. So, but I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that for everybody. You have to do what's best for you. All right, I just started my journey. Crooklyn, I'm proud of you. You juicing or are you just transitioning or what's going on? Hello from Malaysia. How are you? What part of Malaysia are you in? Almost 2 years on juice. Nice, me too. Do you still poop? Yes, I do. I have been though, haven't had time to post, but it's been good and great. I drink almost a watermelon a day. And in Princess, yeah, I drink about a watermelon a day as well. Almost 1.5. How long do you recommend to do a water fast? I don't give recommendations on water fast because water fasts are extremely difficult. It definitely takes a certain mindset. The most I've done in the past is 10 days. I've done that twice, and it was brutal for me. I find juice fasting much more enjoyable and much more just relaxing and more easy. If you want to do 3 days, 7 days, go for it. But you have to listen to your body. At the end of the day, I can't give you any recommendation because I don't know your body. You know your body better than anybody out there. So, I would start maybe with a day or 3 days, maybe a week. But just be aware that water fasts they're pretty aggressive. They're extremely aggressive, more aggressive than a juice fast. So, if you want to read up about that, Herbert Shelton is like the expert on water fasting. I've been really getting into his work a lot lately. Very blunt, very straightforward gentleman. But he's all about water fasting. So I would recommend any of his books. If you send me a DM, I'll send you some of his books. I got a couple of his books that are really good. Was I sick? I have scoliosis, so I'm trying to manage the scoliosis. Excuse me. So that's really the big issue that I'm trying to deal with for this juice fast. I wasn't necessarily sick, but I was more of a weight and just kind of sick of just where I was at physically. And more like spiritually as well. I really feel like obviously the food and the behavior and your mindset, I think they're highly correlated. And I just didn't like where I was at the end of last year. So that's what kind of made me start this whole journey at the beginning of this year in January. I'm planning to join soon. It's too aggressive for me at the moment. Yeah, Uh, Chia Bliss. Yeah, definitely listen to your body. Like I said, there's no competition here. Nobody's trying to prove anybody wrong, or it's not a contest. It's not a competition. It's just about healing. It's just about, we're trying to do this together as a community, but at the same time, everybody in the community is at different levels, you know, based on your previous dietary lifestyle, based on, what drugs you're taking from the medical establishment, based on a number of different factors determines the level of toxicity in your body. And so with that, that will determine how aggressive a juice detox can be for you. Somebody who's extremely coming off a sad diet, coming off of taking antibiotics and painkillers and drinking, 4 times a week, and jumping in straight into a juice fast, it's going to be tough for you. It's not going to be easy. And I don't even recommend you going that long on a juice fast, just because your body has such a high toxic load, and the blowback from those toxins can be essentially dangerous. Arnold Ehret talks about that a lot. Like, you really got to be cognizant of your body and aware of what your body's telling you. You don't want to push through a juice fast, because it can have damaging effects, especially if you're coming directly from a poor dietary lifestyle. So it's best just to listen to your body, take it slow. If you got a juice in the morning and eat something at night, there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to do what works for you. And you can always do green juices. Will help slow things down, your detox symptoms, or you can always eat. Eating will immediately stop the energy of that detoxification, and it will help kind of ease the pain and ease your the heightened sense of pain, I guess you could say, when the detox starts to kind of get to rolling. Have you lost any weight during the watermelon fast? Yeah, I have. I don't know how much though. I haven't really weighed myself, but I can tell by my clothes are feeling much loose. So yeah, I have. The watermelon is pretty aggressive, so, and it's a fat burner as well. So I'm definitely feeling it. Thoughts on working out during a juice fast? Sup, Joe? I do like light workouts, so like I do like a morning walk. I do a little bit of resistance band workouts, and I do yoga. So I don't do anything too crazy. And plus, like I said, I was an athlete for 16 years, playing American football. So I've done a lot of the heavy weightlifting, and I'm just like, that part of my life is over. So I'm more just like kind of in maintenance mode, and more like looking towards flexibility, and just kind of keeping myself more lumber and more nimble, as I kind of move forward in life. But with that being said, I wouldn't do anything too crazy when you're doing a juice fast. I think, getting outside, being in nature, doing a hike, taking walks, maybe even like a small run is all right, but I wouldn't go like super crazy on a workout during a juice fast, just because your body's producing a lot of acids, especially lactic acid, when you're doing that workout. And if you're not eliminating, then you're only putting more toxins in your body, which could again lead to a stronger detox symptoms, or kind of a healing crisis, as time progresses. So it's more about just being smart. I think we just live in this culture where we have to like work out as a sense of like, I don't know, being healthy, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I got 2 gallons of juice from a watermelon a day. How are you gonna drink that in one day? You just drink it, man. I can easily drink 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of watermelon in one day. You're gonna go to the bathroom a lot, but it's doable. I love running and biking. I'm on day 12 and still won't run. How do you feel, sup, Joe, when you work out and juice? There's a lot of juices and juice blends that will help replenish a lot of those salts that are lost during the workout. So like celery juice is highly recommended. Watermelon and beets are like really good because of the nitrates, especially from the beets, will help you with like any athletic performance in general. So there's definitely ways to work out and juice fast at the same time, and there's juices that will help you kind of benefit in that regard as well. And then, like I said, the green juices, I don't will help you with the strength building and developing muscles and anything that relates to, like, you really want to put on weight. Your green juices are going to be the best bet for that. Do you just drink the watermelon, or do you also eat? And what other than do you intake? I just drink the watermelon. I don't eat it. And then I take a couple herbs just for the nutritional aspect of it, and to kind of help with kidney filtration and just detoxing the body. Other than that, I'm just on straight watermelon right now. Just strictly watermelon. I drink 4 liters of juice from my watermelon a day. That's awesome, Sue. Because watermelons really help with kidney filtration. That's one thing I'm actually noticing myself. I'm always checking that. Since I've started the watermelon, just doing the watermelon fast in July, I've seen a lot more sediment coming in my urine. So it's really beneficial for the kidneys, which is needed, for just proper health in general. Because of those metabolic waste and that cellular waste, from our cells eating and eliminating. If that doesn't eliminate from the body, then that just builds up in the lymph system, and that just causes a slow avalanche, a slow snowball effect into the word, the cancer word over time. So it's definitely key that your kidneys are filtering, and watermelon juices really help that. So just want to throw that out there as well. You're on a juice cleanse. Yeah, I'm on a juice cleanse. How much is it? It depends where you live, D. Gross. Like I said, I'm in Armenia. I spend right now I'm spending like maybe $5 a day because the watermelons are so cheap. They're basically giving these watermelons away out here. But at most I spend about $10 a day. But it just determines where you live at. Cost of living out here is much cheaper than it is in the U.S. or like in London or in France or Switzerland, parts of Europe. So, like, I made a video about that, about keeping a budget while juicing, and then it's in my ebook as well. So there's definitely ways to keep the cost low, but stick with what's in season. That's why I'm pushing the watermelon juice, to kind of help you guys realize, when you juice in season, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Because watermelon right now costs maybe $4 or $5, and it gets you about a gallon worth of juice. So it has a high yield because it has a high water content. That's another tip for saving money on the juice fast, is that you want to juice fruits and vegetables that have a high water content. So cucumbers are going to be up there, celery's up there, watermelon's up there. What else? A lot of the leafy greens are up there. You want to drink in season, so watermelons are in season, cantaloupes are in season. If you have, I don't know where you live, but if you can find a wholesale market, you can really save some money there because you can buy in bulk. There's a lot of ways. You just really got to think outside the box, honestly. Helly, how are you, Dala? Shit. Oops. I had a major liver issues, been real sick, not sure I can do on just watermelon. That's fine, Vinny. Like I said, I'm not trying to push this on anybody. I'm just trying to have fun, trying to just get the community together, and trying to just showcase, that juicing isn't that terrible, because watermelon juice is pretty enjoyable. But like I said, you gotta listen to your body. Everybody's at different stages of health. Everybody has their own separate issues. Everybody's at a different level of consciousness. So you gotta work where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. We can look at people like myself, or I look at other people, and like I get certain information from them, but I don't really follow their path. I listen. I do, kind of my own journey, because like I said, we're all are at our own stages, so we have to, follow that stage and just act accordingly. I went for a run. It was 100 degrees a day. Why are fruits better than vegetables when juice fasting? So fruits, they're not necessarily better, but they're more aligned with our species. If you look at monkeys, which is what they say is our cousins. Monkeys predominantly eat fruits. They eat a little bit of greens, but it's mainly fruits. Vegetables, we just have a hard time the body processing that. But I'm not saying vegetables are still good. So I want to preface that, like, they're still fine. They have two different modalities. Like, so fruits are going to cleanse the body. It's rich in flavonoids. It's going to provide a lot of the vitamins. You have the astringent property of fruits. So fruits are going to go into the lymphatic system. And it's going to start to pull and tug on the tissue, so it can draw those toxins from the cells and from the interstitial fluid to help the body just eliminate. Whereas greens, are more they're more for like bodybuilding. They're more for building the skeletal system. They're more for building the muscular system. They're rich in minerals. It's rich in chlorophyll. Trying to think what are the main differences. Those are really the main differences. So like greens clean and fruits. Greens build and fruits clean. Fruits cleanse, excuse me. And fruits are really good for like the brain, the nervous system, our glands. So like our thyroid, our pituitary, our pineal gland, our adrenal glands. So that's more. It's more just the cleansing effect of fruits, and where majority of us are at in society. A lot of it, we all need cleansing, just because of the state of our physical bodies. So that's why the fruits are a little bit more beneficial than us. But like I always said, you can always go read up on that to really understand that for yourself. Dr. Norman Walker has a good book that talks all about fruits and vegetables. Dr. Morris talks about fruits and vegetables. John Rose talks about fruits and vegetables. So it's just a matter of, finding the information that resonates with you and doing what resonates with you as well. Because like I said, fruits can be almost too powerful for some people. So some people can't handle the fruits. They have to go back down to the green juices. And that's no knock against them. It's just where they're at physically and where they're at spiritually and where they're at, emotionally and mentally. Because like I said, a lot of people that are on this watermelon fast are kind of starting to really realize, and myself included, just how strong watermelons are. I didn't really realize that until last week, when I had my little healing crisis last Thursday, and I was like, okay, like, watermelon's it's a very aggressive fruit. It's got a lot of astringent properties. So, yeah. I can do a variety of juices though. Yep, I think it's good to do a variety of juices. Ill as knives. I have the Super Angel Juicer. Pescadora Rebecca. All I do is juice. Yes. Frankie Rose. I don't weigh myself either. Yeah, I don't really get into that. I'm not so concerned about the weight for me. It's the weight will naturally come off when you're juice fasting because you're in a caloric deficiency, so it's almost automatic. I'm more worried about like kidney filtration. I'm more worried about trying to clean out my lymphatic system. I'm more worried about trying to pop up some of these glands and kind of get them back online and really just try to get the body, back into like optimal state. That's more what I'm so worried. I'm more worried about the detoxification and like the regeneration of tissue. The weight, it'll come as it comes. And you'll lose the weight, and then once you start eating again, the weight will come back on. So it's not like the weight's lost forever. It's just about understanding, what I mean, how to go about this. Thoughts on celery juice? I think celery juice is good. It's extremely high in the electrolytes. So a lot of that sodium is really good, and it's the right sodium from the the vegetable, not the highly processed sodium. It's good for the liver. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. It's good for the digestive system. I know Anthony Williams, the medical medium, talks a lot about celery juice. I personally don't do it by itself. I usually drink celery juice with apples and lemon, or like celery, lemon, and ginger, or something in that regard. But it's definitely beneficial. And I drink more of my greens more so in the winter and the fall than I do right now, just because fruits are so abundant right now. It's not really, that time of the year. Yeah, I played American football too. Laughing a lot on more body weight exercise. Yeah, man, me too. Sup, Joe? you know what I'm talking about, man. You know how brutal football is, man, to our bodies. And I broke my leg in 2010. Like I severely broke. Like I snapped it in half, and I was like, I'm done with this. So I keep it easy. I keep it easy, man. We already got enough issues. Namaste, Malvika. What else? What herbs do you take? So I take a lot of different herbs. Let's see. So do you want the tincture name, or do you want the actual herbs themselves? Because I take Dr. Morris's herbs, and they're kind of all packaged up, based on what particular area of the body you're focusing on. So if it's the kidneys, if it's the lymphatic system, if it's the endocrine glands, if it's the nervous system, adrenals, the GI tract, so all those different tinctures have different herbs in them, so dandelion, parsley, corn silk extract, stinging needle cleavers, what else? Cordyceps mushrooms are all good for like the kidneys, excuse me. And then you got like yellow dock and the burdock root, are good for liver and the blood. You got things like ginkgo biloba and gato kula, if I'm saying that correctly, are good for the brain. You got like fenugreek and mullein, and that's good for like dealing with like any congestion in like the respiratory system, or like any stagnation like in your lymph nodes. So it's kind of a wide array of herbs I'm taking. Yeah, Vinny Taz, I take Dr. Morris's herbs. Why is Morris herbs good for? So if you look at herbs in general, it's not so much Dr. Morris's herbs are superior to anybody else's, but just herbs in general. They help provide nutrition to the body. They're designed specifically for different tissues of the body. So they help rejuvenate. They help strengthen the functionality of certain organs or certain glands in the body. Because as we eat a lot of this, or a lot of us have eaten a lot of the, poor foods in the past, that food is very mucus forming, and that mucus begins to build up in the body, and then inflammation begins to, creep in, and pain begins to creep in, and swelling, and then everything that becomes associated with the path of going down towards the C word. And as that mucus and as that inflammation and as those acids are ripping through the body has its own buffering system that it has to put in place to try to protect you, the human, from killing yourself from the acids that you're putting in your body. But over time, as we continue to put those acids in the body, certain glands and certain organs in the body begin to deteriorate. Not deteriorate, but they don't function at their peak capacity. So they go into hypo state. So that's why you see a lot of hypothyroidism. Like a lot of people's kidneys aren't filtering because our kidneys are so locked up with mucus and lymph stagnation, which that then causes other issues. and based upon where you're genetically weak at is where you're going to manifest those symptoms. So somebody like me, I have scoliosis, where somebody else might have stomach cancer or issues with their lower back or issues with their cerebellum. But it all centers around being congested and having limb stagnation. So the herbs are good for helping to really accelerate that detoxification process, because sometimes some of us are so sick that the fruit juices or the vegetable juices is not going to do enough. It's not going to help move and kickstart the system to get it back to its original state. So the herbs kind of come in there as like a secondary agent that are a lot stronger and can help restart a lot of those organs and glands in the system. So herbs are, they've been here for eons, almost 300 million years, and they're designed for the humans. And so Dr. Morris is a very prominent activist, not activist, but advocates for herbs, just to help get people back into feeling like you're feeling normal. I mean, I think we live in such a sick world that we all have gotten kind of complacent with being sick, and it's like that's not how life should be lived. And I started taking my herbs back in April, and I can feel the difference. Like I feel like the light bulb, it's literally what I say, the light bulb has been turned back on. And so it's like living the life that we should be living versus just being in this constant sick state and being in this constant state of like helplessness. I don't think life is supposed to be lived like that. And people like Dr. Morris and Arnold Ehret and Herbert Shelton and Norman Walker, these guys are pioneers who are really trying to showcase that the body can be healed and the body can be regenerated, and that we have tools from nature that will allow us to, get back to that state of health, that we had when we were kids, when we were joyful, when we have all this, liveliness and jovial and happiness, and we live pain-free lives. I think we just need to get out of that mindset of always being in pain. How can I get through the first day of juicing? I give up all the time. MD Martin 6689. What's your issue? Because I will always the first 2 days, no matter how many times you've done a juice fast, it doesn't matter. Those first couple of days are always tough because the body wants to eat. The body is waiting for that food to come into the digestive system. But you got to be really cognizant of how your body operates. You know what I mean? So for me, like when I do the first couple days of a juice fast, I always stick with like the fruit juices because that's enjoyable to me. It helps me get through the mindset, that I'm struggling. But at the same time, if you're really like having cravings, then it's more of a parasite problem for you. And you guys know I'm always posting about parasites, and I just posted a video earlier today, about that fly that I killed and all the maggots that came out of it. It's literally as soon as I killed it, like all these maggots just came spurting out everywhere, and I was like, what the hell is this? And it's just like, it was eye-opening. Because it's like, all right, if they cut open humans after we die, like it's probably the same thing. You probably got thousands upon millions of worms that are literally crawling all throughout our digestive system. And then they're feeding off of this crap. And so a lot of times people who struggle with the cravings or struggle to get through those first couple of days of juice fast, I really think it's a parasite problem. And I've done a parasite cleanse, and so it's becoming a lot easier for me to not have to deal with, I don't even think about food like that. So if you let me know what your issue is, I can kind of address that. More. Why watermelons only yield 2 liters? I don't know what type of watermelons you're juicing. The watermelons I have are getting like almost 4 liters. Is it okay to juice fast using only fruit juices? I was always under the impression I needed a mix of both fruits and vegetables. I guess, what is your reasoning? Do you want to talk about it? You guys know my stance on fruit. I mean, and I'm not saying fruits or vegetables are no one's. I mean, fruits are superior in my eyes, but they both have their benefits. Fruits don't produce the insulin hit that everybody's so worried about when it comes to sugar. Fruits cleanse the body. Greens build the body back up. And the way I look at that, and the way that my brain works, is that you always want to be in this balance of cleansing and building, cleansing and building, cleansing and building. Or, like in my case, I just want to cleanse right now. I'm not too worried about building. I'm trying to just get kidneys filtering. I want to move lymph. I want to heal the scoliosis. So I'm more trying to cleanse the body of all this mucus, cleanse the body of stagnant lymph, and then we'll worry about building later. Thanks for the tour of your apartment. Yeah, I don't know why. My phone always does that. Who knows? Seeded watermelon sprouts at Houston. Yeah, $3.99. Yeah, seeded watermelon is so cheap right now, and that's why I'm really trying to show and use this watermelon fast as a means to show you that juicing does not have to be that expensive. It's only as expensive as you make it. And that's why I don't do the complicated juices. I stick with more the mono juices, the 1, the 2, to maybe max 3 ingredients when it comes to juicing, because you keep the cost low. It takes less time to juice. It's more enjoyable in my perspective, and it allows you to juice the variety that nature provides us throughout a yearly basis. Like right now, watermelons are in season. Watermelons, cantaloupes, honeydew, gala melons. A couple months from now, we're gonna have grapes. Apples are gonna come back in season. The citrus fruits start to come in season. Pomegranates start to come in season. So you always want to juice what's in season. That's gonna help you keep your costs low. I feel like I'm never going to break the cycle of a poor diet. If you have that mindset, you never will, personally. First off, but second off, it's what are you struggling with? What is holding you back? What can't you let go of? And seeded watermelon sprouts are $5.99. Thanks for this information. I really appreciate that. Organic or not, it depends. Especially in the U.S., I would avoid certain strawberries or even some type of certain apples because of just how much pesticides are there used. So I know that the Environmental Working Group has a list, I think called the Dirty Dozen, and that is a list of the most heavily pesticized fruits and vegetables. So with that, whatever's on that list, I would definitely try to go organic if your budget allows for it. If your budget doesn't allow for it, stick with conventional fruits and vegetables. Because I think something is better than nothing. So it's just a matter of just being cognizant. But like with watermelon, I don't think watermelon needs to be organic because you're not juicing the outside of it. You're just juicing the watermelon meat inside. So why do I have a headache during a juice fast? Mala wound. So you get a headache or you get detox symptoms. So as you're juicing, you're flooding your body with all these nutrients, all these vitamins, phytonutrients, X, Y, and Z, right? So as the cells begin to take in all this nutrition, because when you're juicing, the nutrition is going directly, it's getting directly absorbed into the bloodstream and then going direct to the cells and going off to all the different metabolic processes to create energy, ATP, the Krebs cycle, X, Y, and Z. But as that's happening, your body is now your cells are getting hydrated, and your cells are now have the hydration and now have the ability to flush those toxins that have been stored inside of you for God knows how long. And as those toxins are now being released back into the blood system, that have to now go into the lymphatic system and through the kidneys. But the problem arises that a lot of people, you cannot eliminate as fast as the toxins are being released, if that makes sense. So because of that, your body, the blowback from the toxins creates the headache. It creates the body aches. It creates the diarrhea. It creates the vomiting. It creates the fever. It creates the whatever the detox symptom is. That's why the body goes through that process. And it takes a couple of days for your body to start to eliminate all these toxins, because now you're beginning to get hydrated, and now you're going to the bathroom more, you're urinating more, and so that will help you, the detox symptoms will begin to alleviate. So that's kind of the process of why we get a headache during a juice fast. It's just because of how toxic um, we are. You will become a cycle of eating poor habit. Thanks, Sue, for helping her out. Like you said, I am listening to my bodies. At times, I am doing 95% or more juicing, and the rest eating a mango. It is mango season here in India. Yeah, I heard about the mangoes in India. I heard that they're huge. So that's perfect. I mean, that's a perfect transition. That's a perfect way of handling, you know, just a lifestyle. That's a great. I mean, if you can eat fruits or eat vegetables and juice in the morning, I think that's perfect. I played football at Northern Colorado, so UNC. What about you? Mangoes, I missed another name. Did you check out Dr. Brooke? Yeah, I did check her out. Dr. Brooke Goldner. It's an interesting story. I got dive a little bit more deeper, but I get the gist of what she healed lupus and went about it in an all natural way. So I like what's going on there. Can you exercise while drinking watermelon juice? Also, are there any snacks you recommend or just juice? If you want to snack on something, I would fruits or salad, steamed vegetables, something light. I mean, I would stay away from the processed food, the chips and all that stuff. That's what we're trying to clean out, is that the toxic waste from those foods. So I wouldn't want to put those foods right back to the body. Just kind of counterintuitive. Yeah, you could exercise. I wouldn't do anything heavy, but get just a walk with nature, doing some light stretching, yoga, body weight workout is perfectly fine. But you gotta do what's best for you. Should you stop drinking juice a bit before going to bed? I mean, there's nothing that's telling you not to, other than you might have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I drink juice all hours of the day, personally, so it's kind of a personal choice, but I haven't really read anything about not juicing before you go to bed. Talk to them about breaking the fast. Alright, yeah, I'll do that as we get close to the end of the fast, about breaking it. I did a fairly intense HIIT abs workout today and had just juice yesterday and today, but it's the best for me in the morning since I had a headache later in the day sometimes. I understand. That intense stuff is, your body's producing a lot of lactic acid. And so if your kidneys aren't filtering, then that's probably why you're getting those headaches. So I would check if your kidneys are filtering, just to make sure. I'm about to take Dr. Morris' GI Broom to detox sulfur. Look at my eyes. I have orange. Yep. I'm about to take a GI Broom too. I got a whole package coming in. I got a whole package of Dr. Morris' tinctures coming in, like today or tomorrow. I'll do an unboxing video with that when I get the herbs. I'm excited. Do you put Dr. Morris herbs tinctures in your juice? No, I take mine straight up. I know that they can be kind of very bitter. It's not the very best tasting solution, but I prefer to take it by itself. But you can put them in the juice. How far into fasting are you currently? How do you feel? I feel amazing, man. Honestly, I feel like I've never felt before in my life. My energy's high. My brain's operating at an extremely high level. Physically, I feel good. My back's not hurting. Like I said, all through the weight's coming off. I'm sleeping like a baby. I don't need that much sleep. I mean, I feel amazing. Otherwise, I would have stopped. So I'm almost like 6 months in. I've been going since January. So I feel great. On day 2, I had to switch back to fruit. Got tired of the mean green recipe from Joe Cross so fast. What's funny, you guys? People are always arguing and complaining about the fruits, but at the same time, nobody wants to drink the vegetable juices. So it's like we mentally want to argue about fruit, but our physical bodies are telling us that we want the fruits. that makes sense. And I get this like comment a lot from people is that like, oh, I try to drink the green juices and you can't stomach them because they're not designed for us. It's like if you put a platter of fruit on a table in front of a bunch of kids, and you put the same thing and you put a plate of vegetables in front of the same bunch of kids, those kids are always going to pick the fruit because the fruits are they're aligned with who we are as humans, as a species. And so I just find it funny because it's like we always want to argue about the fruits, but then nobody wants to actually drink the vegetable juices. There's a reason, it's like we're more aligned to the fruit, so it's just don't be afraid of the fruit. Parasites control everything. Yeah, man, they do. I'm reading a book now about that, man. They control mood, they control your behavior, they control, your cravings, how you express your personality, so much that they manipulate at every level. Dogs, cats, other animals, everything included. How do you explain an enema? So an enema is it's like a little bag you use. It's almost like an IV bag. You take the tip and you lubricate that up and you put that in your rectum. It's gonna go in there. You're gonna dump a bunch of water into the small intestine, the lower part of the small intestine. So when you do an enema, it's not gonna clean your entire colon out. Your colon is almost like 32 feet long. So it's gonna clean it's gonna clean that bottom portion out. Let the water come into your rectum. Hold it for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, however long you can hold it. Because personally, I can't even hold that long, and then just let it come out. And it's really just helping you flush out all that toxic waste and build up in the small intestine. I definitely don't recommend them. I don't recommend doing them every day because you want to allow your body to have the natural bowel movements. But they are beneficial, when they're needed. It's kind of like how do I make it through the first couple of days? It's more just mind over matter, honestly. I don't have any temptations in my house. I eliminate, anything that I would want to eat, so I don't have the temptations to eat. Like I said, I drink a lot of juice, especially when I first started out. I'm drinking almost 4 or 5 liters, 6 liters of juice a day. Try to help mitigate, the cravings. But at the same time, if your cravings are that strong, then I would definitely look at doing a parasite cleanse. Yes, ensuring our protocols are suited to each individual constitution. Mimicking someone else's health protocols could be. Yeah, I agree. Chia Bliss. Yeah, like you guys gotta definitely do your own homework. You gotta research, get your own eyes read, find your own protocol, find out what works for you. I'm just sharing my story, and I'm just helping kind of guide you guys. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. What juice would be good for someone struggling with lupus? So you got to understand why do you have lupus? That understanding why that is occurring will allow you to address that in the right manner. Lupus is just a sign of systemic acidosis. So your body is completely full from head to toe of stagnant lymph, of mucus, of acids from the food that you've eaten over years. So the first thing you want to do is eliminate the foods that are causing the lupus, that are causing the inflammation, that are causing the acidosis that is fueling the lupus. So getting rid of foreign proteins, getting rid of mucus-forming foods, breads, pastas, sugars. So I'm not saying you need to go raw or be like a vegan, but for a specific time in your life, I would recommend eating only really fruits to help cleanse the body and to move that stagnant lymph. And then you want to drink juices that have a lot of those anti-inflammatory properties. So citrus fruits help with that. Watermelon juices help with that. Cucumber juices help with that. Pineapple juice is good for removing inflammation. I have to look at the rest of my list, but off the top of my head, I know those juices are really good for you. So it's kind of it's a multitude of things. And then also for somebody like you, in your case, the herbs would be beneficial as well because you want to make sure your kidneys are filtering. You want to make sure that your lymphatic system is being cleaned out. You want to make sure that um, your endocrine glands are functioning as well. So it's kind of a it's kind of a systemic way of looking at trying to deal with that, not just more of an isolated, just drinking the juices. What kind of juices would you recommend for a first-time juicer? Fruit juices. Fruit juices always. Have you done an iris analysis? I have, but I haven't done the second of like seeing the change yet. I haven't. I just got them done like 2 months ago, so I will do them, later on. I played at Texas Lutheran, not far from San Antonio, I think. To the food we were consuming while playing terrible. Oh man, I wish I would have known what I know now, Joe, about health and nutrition when I was playing football. I feel like I'd have been a whole different athlete because I was eating terrible. I was eating just whatever I get my hands on. Sea moss is good. It's got 108 minerals. It's a very beneficial herb for the body. And yes, it's safe. What's the parasite book you're reading? It's called This Is Your Brain on Parasites. I can't think of the author name. Send me a DM and I'll send you the link for it. Look up YouTube. Yeah, so whoever just asked about lupus, if you go to rawfigs.com, that's Dr. Morris's website where you can kind of like, you can, it's a searching queue. You can search up different conditions or different issues that you have, and it'll find all the videos where he talks about that particular issue. So for somebody like who has the lupus, you could go onto that website, type in lupus, and you'll find all the videos where Dr. Morris talks about lupus. So I got about a couple minutes left before I jump off. How does the body handle all that natural sugar? It's pretty straightforward. I mean, natural sugar is the key component to energy and ATP and the cellular respiration. So it's giving it's the food for the chemical processes of the body. It's the design food for that. So it's raw figs. Let me see. I'll write it on the comment. Rawfigs.com. I just posted that in the comments, Sue. I pinned it as well. You guys got any more questions? It's kind of a short Q&A today. Nothing too crazy. Got about 7 minutes left, so yep, no problem. Yeah, I appreciate it, Joe. It was a good chat. I love talking with you guys. But like I said, just my overall theme of this chat was to just everybody just needs to be aware of the detox symptoms. Just be aware how to handle them. Understand what it is that you're going through. Understand what are the different options that you have when the detox symptoms hit. You can either you can push through it. But I only recommend that for people who are strong-minded, who have the willpower, who want to heal. You can just kind of do nothing and just allow the body to rest. Make sure you stay hydrated. Making sure that you just give the body the space it needs to just heal. Or you can just stop the detox altogether by eating something. Eat some steamed vegetables. Eat a salad. Eat some fruit. Try to avoid eating anything else other than fruits and vegetables. But the moment you eat, the moment those detox symptoms will stop manifesting. because it's all about energy. It's at the end of the day, we're just dealing with energy here. You have energy from the lymph energy, nerve energy, and energy from your blood. And as we start to clean the body, that energy becomes very energetic, because a lot of this fruit that we're eating is very energetic. So that's another reason why fruits are superior, in my opinion, to vegetables, is because the energy that fruits have. You got to think about it. All this fruit's being baked underneath the big nuclear reactor that we have in the sky, is the sun. So all that electromagnetic energy is being pumped into these fruits and vegetables as they're growing on the trees, as they're growing, and coming to fruition on the tree. And then as you, the human, eat that fruit, that energy is being transferred to you. So there's a thing called biophotons. And so it's very electrical. It's very energetic, and that's why you start to get feeling like these high vibes. But at the same time, with that high vibration comes with the body's going to start dumping toxins and dumping lymphatic waste at a very accelerated rate. And if you're not ready to handle that, that's when the detox symptoms can come, and it can be too much for you. And at the same time, the detox symptoms really are a sign of how toxic you are. You know what I'm saying? So, the stronger your symptoms are, the more constipation, the more, toxins that you have in your body. So you want to continue to work yourself through that, so that way, over time, you don't have the intensity of those detox symptoms, as they progress. But like I said, I still have them. I've had about 5 or 6 healing crises since I started my juice fast, and some of them have been pretty tough. I had one where it was like 4 or 5 days where I just was like, I thought I was gonna die. My stomach hurt so bad. But then when I got rid of that, when it came out of me, I never felt, much. I felt so much better. So it's like sometimes it's worth, if you can, it's worth getting to the other side, of the detox symptom itself, because you're gonna feel so much more better. But with that, if you guys don't have any other questions, I got a couple more minutes. I'm probably gonna jump off here. Also, I'm working with another lady, Love Juice and Guru. We're gonna do a giveaway. You guys know I love parasites, so I want to give away some parasite tinctures. I want to give away a parasite book. So if you go check out my story, it'll have the guidelines for that. Can you post the herbs you take, please? Yes. I will probably do a video sometime this week. I have a large shipment of herbs coming in. They should be here today, tomorrow, or Thursday. I will jump on IG Live and I will do an unboxing. I'll talk about the herbs that I'm taking. So just stay tuned for that. So I'll definitely let you know. Because I think a lot of people are very curious about the herbs, and I love the herbs, so I'm definitely willing to spread that knowledge. So yeah, just stay tuned. Sometime this week, I'll do an unboxing video and talk about all the herbs that I have, why I'm taking them, what they're beneficial for. So, Tara, what's so funny? Dahlia, I appreciate it. It's the juice. It's the watermelon juice. Yes, looking forward to the unboxing. Yeah, I'm so excited too about the herbs. I cannot wait. I got so many kidney herbs coming. But yeah, it's one of the benefits. But Dahlia, your skin's always glowing too, so when you do post pictures, I see you're always glowing. You have this halo around you. But with that, I love you guys. If you guys need anything, send me a DM. I got an ebook as well. I don't know, YouTube, all that stuff. I'm always here. So, with that, I love you guys, and we will talk soon. I'll be on sometime later this week to do the unboxing video, and then I'll jump back on Wednesday to do another Q&A. So, I got about 5 seconds left. So, much love, and we'll talk soon. So, be easy.